Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of Clear and Present Dudes. Once again, thank you so much for staying with us over these last few episodes. I think we're just as surprised as you that we're still here and still doing this, but it looks like we're kind of digging in and making this a regular thing. Want to start this podcast with a few shout outs to some of our listeners and some of our followers on the social medias. So without breaking people's purse too much, thank you very much to Jen from Syracuse, Carl from Cramlington, Jim from Cramlington, Brent from Ontario. Pretty sure it's you who's been listening to it because I know that you've liked a lot of my tweets. Our followers on the Clear and Present Dudes Instagram, which is just Clear and Present Dudes. Search for that and find some fun clips and some other bullshit. We have Tom, Daniel, James, Kevin, Felicia. Shout out to Mrs. Golden Dunbar. Of course, Jim again, and the other two members, the Clear and Present Dudes, who follow the Clear and Present Dudes Instagram. We also have Discord now. We're going to be putting links to the Discord up in the descriptions of the episodes. There's going to be a link on our SoundCloud page, on the Spotify pages, I believe, on the YouTube page. We are now actually on all of the major podcast providers. We're on not just SoundCloud anymore. We're no longer in the early 2000s. We are on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict.
Yeah, and we're on Overcast as well. So just to echo Rory there, thanks for listening. If you've got a spare second and you've enjoyed what you've heard so far, please feel free to rate the show. And if you can pop a little review or something in there, that really, really helps boost the algo. That just means, a lot of podcasts, they go down the whole Patreon route straight away. We don't want to do that. We're quite keen to just build a following, keep it free, keep it fun, keep it breezy. But we would like an excuse to do more episodes and stuff. And a bigger listenership would help us justify that, I think, to ourselves.
Absolutely. That commanding of a serial voice you just heard there was my old friend and podcasting colleague, Mike Dunbar. And also with us tonight we have Sanya Björksson.
Hi.
And hello, Mike.
I had a whole bit planned. I was gonna do an impression of that Lowell Coffee guy from Op Center, but
do it again. We'll do it again.
No, we don't need to do it again. Let's just move on.
No, but we're gonna Mike. We're gonna fucking do it again, okay? So yes, as you just heard, my friend there, just want to introduce to you, Mike.
Right and wrong. That was it. That was the whole bit. Right and wrong. Let's go.
Good fucking.
Government is about power.
The United States of America is about power. Why?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Keep it locked through this podcast to find out the most unhinged character of this very fucking unhinged film. And hello, Sanya Björksson.
Oh, hello. What do you mean? You've almost lost another member of the podcast.
Dudes represent a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
You have no idea what men are about. And
Fun. Before we get too deep into Op Center and this
Yes.
bizarre little thing, Rory O'Toole, I thought maybe we could take some time to talk about something else you've been filling our group chat with, which is an informal book club you've started for St. Thomas Clancy's The Bear and the Dragon. Would you like to give the listeners a little rundown on what that's all about?
100%. So I've decided, because I am a masochist and can't pay people to put cigarettes out on me anymore. I've started reading The Bear and the Dragon, which is I believe it's one of the last books that St. Thomas of Clancy fully wrote himself. He was balls deep in a divorce. He was quite tired of everything, and this book is weird. It's massive for a start. I'm actually listening to the audio book on my daily commute to work, and it's 37 hours long. unabridged. It's read by a guy who every time he does a non-American accent, he sounds a little bit racist.
Sorry to interrupt, man, but just for some
Yep.
context, I had a look online, and the unabridged Silmarillion audiobook is
Yeah.
19 hours. The book itself is over 1,000 pages. We're deep into Stephen King territory.
The plot is crazy. It's weird, man. So if you do any just brief reading about it, if you do any quick Google about it or look on social media like Reddit or whatever, you'll essentially see a lot of people in the subreddit Non-Credible Defense talking about how insane the plot is, how it involves a war between China and Russia. Russia joins NATO. There's a discovery of massive amounts of natural resources in Russia, which is going to make the country very rich, and this makes China essentially try and do a land grab, apparently. So I'm told the first 1,100 pages are just conversations, politicking, economics. President Jack Ryan simply at this point saying things that St. Thomas of Clancy would have done if he was president. And it gets weird. It gets awkward. Tom Clancy writing sex scenes is kind of fucked. There's this subplot. Well, it's not. Well, I mean, you can't call it a subplot in a Tom Clancy book, can you? Because everything's like there's all these tangled webs of a million plots that are all super valid. Like there's no real B plot, and everything's just an A plot, and it's all jammed together. So there's this Japanese American CIA officer who's working in China, and he's called Chester Nomori, and he seduces this Chinese secretary, this lady who's a secretary to someone in whatever their version of the Politburo is. I can't remember now. And the sex scene's just ridiculous, man, because it's not graphic, but the pillow talk is fucking really bad. I'm not even going to attempt to do the voice because it would make me sound racist.
Yeah, don't do that. yeah.
Yeah, but she's talking about how small the minister who bangs has penis is, right? And obviously she's inferring, therefore, the Chester Nomori's got, he's got a hog. And she's like, oh, better a sausage than a string bean. And then after another escapade, she literally refers to him as Master Sausage. And I find that deeply upsetting.
I find it deeply upsetting. This is not what you go to a Tom Clancy novel for.
It's not. There's sequences in which President Jack Ryan, I mean, this is going to be very fucking controversial, and for good reason, because at one point Jack Ryan's like, I think we should just repeal Roe versus Wade. Just overturn Roe versus Wade, because the only thing that's going to happen is that it's going to go back to the states to decide, and it's like, for fuck's sake.
Wow. I'm not surprised, right? I'm not surprised that obviously President Jack Ryan's base is probably going to be pretty red, right? I'm not expecting him to be like Josiah Bartlett in The West Wing.
Yeah, he's a fucking opposite, isn't he? I mean,
but he's obviously going to be like one of those well-meaning, good Republicans that you see occasionally in The West Wing that don't exist at the minute. But in theory, could have done one day. I don't know. Yeah. Not my country. Not my. That's not my monkeys.
Not my farm. Not my pigs.
But right, that doesn't surprise me. But I am surprised that Tom Clancy is weighing in on this issue, and I'm kind of surprised that that Jack Ryan is even tracking these kind of things, because Jack Ryan to me strikes me as a really good foreign secretary or a really good Secretary of State kind of guy. But I don't know if I just don't know if he cares enough about domestic issues to put himself at the very pinnacle, the top job.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a good sector if he wouldn't get his dick dumped and kill hookers that he's banging. Ew,
the way out. Ew.
And he certainly wouldn't do the stupid shit that the president in this film does. There's a significant amount of stuff in the book that's unnecessary. The last thing that I will say that dates the book as late 90s is that a couple of police officers in St. Petersburg pull a couple of dead bodies out of the river. there's this bizarre kind of inner monologue when one of the detectives is looking at this body and he's like, oh, his features were twisted much like a gross distortion of a Pokemon.
Oh man, that's better than I hoped it'd be. I thought we were gonna have like a Tamagotchi or something in them.
Yeah, it's like, oh my, Boże moi, this Tamagotchi. It's
Needs
not
feeding.
been fed in 3 days. Vasily, this Tamagotchi has not been fed in 3 days. It's starving. Yeah, so is my family, Ivan. So is my fucking family.
I have sent my Tamagotchi to Gulag.
He has the twisted features of Bulbasaur, the garlic Pokemon.
The imperialist Bulbasaur.
I mean, Brezhnev's eyebrows would have been right there as a comparison for something weird and twisted.
Holy
Whoa!
fuck. Good grief.
Oh god, that's brilliant.
So yeah, I will update you on how insane the book gets.
I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to go back and pretend that we had a segue. What if I told you guys? What if I told you guys that somewhere in a bunker deep under Washington DC there's an ops room, and in that ops room there was a ragtag band of civil servants made up of a PR consultant, a psychologist, several nerds, and they're all headed up by Brigadier General Apollo Creed. An ops room where they're poised to deal with the most complex, fluid, grey zone activity as it erupts all over the world. An ops room with near limitless resources and spotless elint and humant and sigint, and the incredible ability to throw sixes with every roll of the dice. Well, gents, I just described not an ops room, but an ops centre, which is either the name of the room or the unit or the mission in this St. Thomas of Clancy adjacent, if not penned by, TV movie. The year, it is 1995. The Soviet Union has disbanded. Tensions remain between the hardline old guard and the moderate oligarchs stepping in to make hay. And in this, the fun blend of hardline KGB, who also want to make a quick buck by selling nuclear warheads and putting them into the open market. It's a big threat, and who's going to stop them? Why, the Ops Centre, of course. But wait, the Ops Centre has just received a new director. A lily-livered leftist snowflake who wants to downsize the military and spend all that saved money on education and hospitals like some kind of pinko commie. How will they do it? Well, new director Paul Hudd is just going to roll up his sleeves and actually be really great at doing it for some reason. We are, of course, discussing 1995's Ops Centre, a TV movie, initially a 4-part miniseries, and it hasn't gained maybe a lot of critical praise, but it did get a Primetime Emmy for sound editing. It was directed by Louis Teague, director of Navy SEALs Cujo, and I just learned this, guys, we have a connection to Meteor, if you can believe it, because he directed Avalanche in 1978, which
no
the footage of the Avalanche bit was stolen from.
Everything's far too connected.
That was a fucking random number generator as well. Right, okay. It stars Harry Hamlin, Kim Catrall, Wilford Brimley, Carl Weathers, Mia Korth and Ken Howard, and an incredible lineup of that guys and those women that you'll have seen on TV in the 90s and noughties, either dating Fraser Crane, holding minor political office in the West Wing, or being interviewed about a murder by Adrian Monk. Let's take a look at the trailer.
From the international superstar author of The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, The Sum of All Fears, creator of this year's worldwide #1 bestseller, Dead of Honor, and the motion picture box office smash, Clear and Present Danger, New World Entertainment.
All these good movies that
Tom
and
Clancy's
books that aren't this.
In the little-known Ukrainian village of Derezhnaya, the world's worst nightmare becomes terrifying reality.
Priority 1 flash. 3 RPs have been stolen. There's been a mutiny by the KGB guards. They're loading them onto heavy trucks.
Fucking terrible weapons handling.
Halfway around the world, one man, Paul Hood, will find himself matching wits with ruthless killers. As Hood and his team move into a state-of-the-art operations center in Washington, military forces on 3 continents rush to alert. But a White House reporter will stop at nothing to bear the truth.
The truth.
NATO
Get
governments
it?
are
'Cause she's
determined
not
to
got any
hide.
clothes on.
In a desperate gamble, at a top-secret military base, a team of Special Forces troopers, codenamed Linebacker, prepares for a seaborne assault. Now, everything depends on the split-second timing of 2 attacks 2 continents apart.
I think we got something.
He's going in. Turn Linebacker loose. Signal the 6th Fleet attack. 10 seconds to target.
Back, look out!
FBI, you're under arrest.
From filmmaker Louis Teague, director of Jewel of the Nile, with a dazzling cast of international stars. Harry Hamlin,
We gotta find those warheads.
Kim Catrall, Lindsay Frost, Carl Weathers, Wilford Brimley, Rod Steiger, John Savage, Ken Howard, Deidre Hall, Kabir Bedi, and Bo Hopkins. Op Center. A new world of adventure, a new world of passion, a new world of intrigue, a new world of excitement on the cutting edge of technology and courage. As a combined task force roars into battle against a nuclear-armed enemy who has a world to win and nothing to lose, Tom Clancy's Op Center will be the worldwide entertainment event of 1995.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't the entertainment event of 1995. It's before we get into the impressions for this, it's worth everyone knowing that Tom Clancy's Op Center is the title. It was written by somebody else. It's called Tom Clancy's Op Center.
Yeah. I mean, I when I was younger, because now I've read. I remember having in my hands at least 2 of the Tom Clancy Op Center books. I've read them. I can't remember a single thing from them at the time. I was kind of hoping that, hoping against hope. Maybe these are kind of partially written by Tom Clancy, like a kind of good omens kind of thing. But no, he clearly just signed off on them, and they just got some dude to write them. So the trailer, like it bombards you with a load of books that are actually good, a film that's actually good, and it does also show you what might have been an interesting scene that's been cut out. There's a scene when the linebacker unit are in a hangar, and you see there's like the kind of plan of a ship that's like marked out on the floor, isn't it? So like obviously they've been doing some kind of we're building the inside of the ship so we can move through it and know how to do all the CQB and stuff. Which, I mean, in fairness, it actually tracks that they removed it, because the CQB during the ship scenes is fucking dog shit, man. It's execrable. It's so bad. I was upsetty spaghetti at the whole thing. Once again, the quality of the video is so bad, they've managed to sneak actual breasts into a video on YouTube that doesn't get taken down for adult content, right?
Yeah, I mean, they also sneaked it onto the one that I watched, but I didn't even realize.
I mean, there's about 3 pixels in the whole thing. By the way, I should say that the film, if I'm going to call it that, is available on YouTube. If you just search for Op Center film, you'll find it. It's in incredibly low definition. If it had any less pixels, it would be radio. There's gun camera footage from embattled BF-109s in World War II that has sharper resolution than this. There are cartel execution videos that are more polished, definitely more polished than this film. There's probably snuff films from the 1960s that are way more fucking high def. It's painful. It's painful to watch. There's cutscenes on mid-90s full motion video horror games that are about on the level of this.
Glad you said that, because there's there's more than one occasion in this film where Wilford Brimley is talking directly to a camera, and it's given big VGA, like
Gabriel Knight.
That's an FMV cutscene energy. Big Command and Conquer Alert 2 vibes. They've taken the weapons from Der Schneier. It's up to you, Commander, to recover them.
So like Wilford Brimley's like, I'm going to the one place I'm not polluted by liberalism, Ohio.
You could probably add like Bigfoot running around in the background throughout the film, and you wouldn't even notice.
They maybe did.
It's like, I mean, to be honest, the research about the geography of Ukraine's fucked up enough that they could easily throw a Bigfoot into there as well. It's like, oh my god, I've got bones to pick about the whole Nikolaev thing. I see the flaw.
I'll see the flaw to the gentleman from Newcastle. I suppose what I'll do is I'll give a little summary of the beginning. I kind of did it earlier, but in a basically what it is there's a new inexperienced political appointee director called Paul Hood, who gets appointed at the head of this supposedly obsolete National Crisis Management Center. This is all Wikipedia, with an eye to downsizing it. And then no sooner is he introduced around by the NCMC's deputy director, Brigadier General Mike Rogers, played by Apollo Creed, then he's in the middle of a crisis. Rogue KGB unit hijacks 3 Ukrainian-based nuclear warheads and tries to sell them to the Middle East. And then the National Security Advisor, Vice Admiral Troy Davis, played by Wilford fucking Brimley, orders HUD and the Op Center to locate the warheads, verify their location, and prepare a viable recovery plan, which all sounds really reasonable and quite easy to achieve from inside a bunker on the other side of the planet. So right off the bat, the film tries to familiarize us with the Op Center and gives you like a vibe of these guys. So like the very first scene, it's like you're in there and they're all going like, "Oh, have you seen who the new guy is? You've seen Paul Hood?" And they're like, all the ladies are looking at a picture of him like, "Oh my god, he's quite a dish." And like all the guys are all like, "Oh, this guy wants to downsize the military. He's not good. They're going to turn this place into a video rental store." Blah, 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 blah. And basically they think they're too fucking cool for school and that he's a himbo. But they are fundamentally not cool people. Like they are all dweebs. Even the women are dweebs. Like they're all really dweeby. Big dweeby energy coming off all these guys. They're total nerds. Lesser nerds, because nerds would add value. I mean, what are your thoughts on the team, broadly speaking?
Sanya, do you want to go first, since you've just literally watched the film about half an hour ago, so it's very fresh in your mind? Despite you watching it at 1.5 times speed to fit it in.
No, not to fit it in, to make it bearable. Way to throw me under the bus, Rory. Well, they mostly registered as a bunch of nerds who are, well, at least the women were made to seem unreasonably horny for some reason, I think, and everyone's just like, "What's this guy doing here?" And the guy himself seems like he doesn't know either. I think that's like the main vibe of the introduction to the thing. It's just walking around like, "What am I doing? Who are these people?" And all the people are like, "Oh my god, the new guy! What is the new guy doing here?" And I don't feel like there's a lot going on in there actually in terms of, I don't know, plot, whatever.
Yeah, like, okay, so
Big breath. Okay. Paul Hood. Director Paul Hood.
This liberal.
Right. First of all, he's probably not even that liberal.
Yeah. I mean, he's liberal compared to.
So you're saying he's op-centrist?
Nice. I mean, let's face it, he's like a screaming shitlib compared to like Holden Bloodfeast, Republican Iowa, 113 years old.
Respectable, just wants to bomb Iraq.
Yep, yearns to smell blood. But no, I'm sighing like a parent who's let down by a stupid child. And I'm not talking about a child that's like occasionally dumb. I'm talking about a child that like just like keeps trying to seal himself inside the microwave because he thinks it's gonna like teleport him to Barbados or something. I feel like the parent of a really fucking powerfully stupid child that like shuts himself in the fridge daily because he saw Andrew Tate talk about it. And everyone in this film is fucking useless. Nobody in this film makes. Oh, right, fucking hell.
Right, okay.
These are fundamentally unserious people. Nothing matters. nothing fucking matters. Nothing makes sense. None of the things.
Nothing ever happens.
Nothing makes. Nothing makes fucking sense at all. None of the things these people do or say make sense. They don't react or act like normal people. It's like everybody in this film has been given a little bit of exposure to carbon monoxide, not enough to kill them, but enough to give them a mild headache and like end up like writing notes to themselves and forgetting them and thinking someone else is living in the house. It's bad as fuck.
I think the root cause for this, I think I know what you're talking about, right? Is they've written it in such a manner that they want it to appear really busy. Like this room is a place where a
Yeah.
lot of stuff happens, except there's not that much to talk about. Okay, because they're only handling one issue,
Yeah.
and people have to talk one at a time as well. Otherwise, you can't hear it on a movie. So what they do is they move the camera around. Like it's a really early version of shaky cam. Like this is what Paul Greengrass would do with like Bourne later. It's just a big wobbly camera around a room where everyone's just sitting around a table. And they're all just chipping in there like two penneth worth, like about the issue, like just saying like non sequiturs, and some of it sticks and some of it just drifts off, and you don't, and it's just like it's like wet cake. You just don't, it just drifts away, and like it's so weird. But they avoid over talking with each other, but they're all talking towards the same thing. So you're in this weird situation where you've got like these guys who are not adding any value. There's no analysis going on. They somehow just know things inherently, as if the people who are in that room just happen to be like walking encyclopedias for what's going on in the world right now, everywhere. There's no research going on. There's no intelligence being brought in, analyzed, and then a product coming out. There's no intelligence cycle. They just know stuff, and then it ends up being like this kind of weird Midwich cuckoo hive mind thing where they just all together coalesce a plan out of thin air, and it just happens. The entire first. How long is it? It's an hour and 56 minutes. I would say the first hour and 30 minutes is just those guys doing that over and over again.
Yeah.
It's and some other bits and bobs that happen around the sides. But that is crazy. And none of them add value. They also the makeup of the team, right? Just for everybody who hasn't watched it and if for some reason is listening to this, is like the makeup of the team is they have a psychologist. For some reason they've got a media and congressional liaison who it's essentially a PRO, and like she's in like knuckle deep into the ops N3 picture, which is insane. And then you've got Lowell Coffey, my favorite character, a lawyer who is literally insane. His special move is to wait until a plan is fully hashed out and briefed before jumping in and mentioning what the legal constraints are. He's your overthrow democracy first, ask questions kind of later kind of guy. You got him, and then you've got a economic and political advisor, and her job is literally just to wring her hands and look worried the entire way through, or to say useless things like, "Oh, the Bosphorus is in Turkey." Yeah, man. Yeah, cool. Thank you. This is the kind of stuff they just do.
Yeah.
And then at the top of it all, you've got Apollo Creed, who's the Brigadier General, who plays it with the energy of like a middle school football coach who's just trying to keep these kids like from running into each other and just like playing nice. And he has to like raise his voice once or twice, but most of it is just him like policing this over talking situation, standing up at the front and occasionally throwing out a mission name. Mission designation Touchstone. Okay, cool.
Okay, pal. Like it's also nits to pick with the introduction of Director Hood. For a start, they're already aware that he's probably a fucking Axeman, right? I mean, he's a goddamn liberal who's going to come and the shit lib's going to close the place down, right? Women aren't going to get horny for this dude. I'm not a knower of women, but no one's going to be excited about a guy who's joining an organization to shut it down. So these chicks aren't going to be like, fucking, oh my God, I can't wait to smash him. It's like, no, it's like, I mean, he's going to fuck your careers. You know, you're gonna all of a sudden be laid off from the NCMC, and you know what are you gonna do after that? This could be bad for your career progression. You've just been sacked from this outdated Cold War bullshit thing, which is in itself a really fucking stupid concept. Like, oh my God, the Cold War's over, crises won't happen ever.
Yeah,
maybe we have collectively done that for like 30 years, but
have we though? So just like real world, just like the real world, Tom Clancy also had the problem with when the Cold War finished. He didn't know who the bad guy was anymore, and he couldn't rally around a good, clear bad guy. And that's kind of where we are at in global politics, isn't it? Like,
yeah, actually, pretty much.
Like that's why we keep talking about the grey zone activity, and we don't know who the bad guy is, and it's counterinsurgency and counterterrorism, and it's not state-on-state conflict anymore because we haven't got another superpower to bat against. Until obviously, obviously there's a land war happening in Europe right now with Russia at the head of it. But it's like, fuck me, is it actually like the top of the news cycle every day? It's not, is it?
Yeah, you're right. It's not. You notice as well how the whole plot is like, oh, the op center is useless. I hate calling it the op center as well. It's a silly fucking name. The NCMC is useless. Nothing happens. It's very much a nothing ever happens.jpg. Yet when Paul Hood's getting introduced around, people are taking phone calls. People are doing things. This is before the Tereshnaia incident happens. People are taking phone calls. Is it the psychologist who says something really weird to someone on the phone, like mess with my body, not my brain, or something like that? And then she's like, I don't believe the guy got the number wrong because he was dyslexic. It's like, wow, man. And like, so people are answering phones, people are doing things, and it's like it looks busy. It's just,
but it looks very sort of performative busy, doesn't it?
It's,
Like they try so hard to make everyone look really preoccupied, but they introduce them one by one, so you just get the impression that nothing's actually happening. It's like everyone's like, I am so busy, and the second he's passed, everyone runs to the next office like, oh my god, have you seen the new guy? It all seems very performative.
It strikes me, if it's the National Crisis Management Center, you think it would be dealing, and clearly its remit is like geopolitical defense facing stuff, right? It's not like FEMA. It's not dealing with like forest fires or shit like that, or hurricanes or anything. It's dealing with like international incidents of a military nature. That to me seems like something that you would have like a watchkeeper at, and then you would surge when something kicked off. It wouldn't be like open all the time with like, it's like 40 odd guys in there right now. Like I'm watching it in my picture-in-picture. It's like 40 odd guys, like going out taking phone calls, looking at maps and stuff. Like, what do they do every day?
Consume massive amounts of coffee, first and foremost.
Massive amounts of budget as well. Maybe that's the reason why Paul Hood's been sent in to be the Axeman.
Exactly, slash and burn, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if all these telephone calls that they're taking and making are actually them just like fucking pretending. Like, oh shit, look busy. It's like, hey, play with my mind, not my body.
I bet they are calling each other, actually.
They fucking are, actually. Jesus, that's exactly what's going on. I love the introduction of Lowell Coffey, the lawyer, when he's introduced as, WCDL, we can't do that legally. Which I found actually quite funny. There's not many. I mean, it's not a film that's designed to be funny, but I got a bit of a chuckle out of me, the WCDL thing. And when he introduces, and when he introduces himself as Lowell Coffey from Old Boy, Blue Blood, and something else, and it's funny because he's like saying, oh, well, I'm a nepo baby, I'm fucking incredibly white bread lawyer, and I'm basically Patrick Bateman, and he becomes Patrick Bateman quite quickly later on in the film. You're kind of given the idea that the lawyer's meant to be the kind of calming, liberal kind of end of things, I think, aren't you? Like, he's like the guy who says, you can't do that, and then he's like, am I wrong? America's about power.
Yeah, I've got that down as my favorite quote. Yeah, that whole breakdown that he has.
Indubitably, it's the best quote of the film.
But you're right, because you would think that the Brigadier General would be the guy who's the most wary and is after causing trouble.
Yeah.
But no, it's Lowell. Lowell's the guy who's like, hey, director, like, I wanna crack some heads open. Dude.
Yeah, he's crazy. I think what happened is that Lowell interned for Senator Holden Bloodfeast when Holden Bloodfeast was just young 70-year-old senator still yearning for blood and the deaths of Iranians. The Brigadier General, he even like kind of when Paul Hood's like, oh well I didn't support Vietnam and marched against it, and he's like, yeah, good, cool, America, freedom to do that, man. And you would expect, like you said, you'd expect the roles to be reversed. You'd expect him to be the war hawk. It's one of the few, I think, there's very, very few bits of writing that like, yeah, okay, that's actually kind of cool that the Brigadier General is not I'm a hardcore pipe hitter who went a bit crazy in the jungles of Vietnam and now everyone's my enemy kind of guy, He's
he gives the energy of a guy who's towards the end of his time.
Yeah,
his tops out where he is. Maybe he's eyeing up a career in politics after it. Who knows? But yeah, he's pretty happy where he is. He's got this little team of civil servants he's got to deal with. Fine, I'll do this for 2 or 3 years if I have to, and then I'll move on. It's funny what you say though, because we've described probably the best bit of writing in the whole thing. Unfortunately, that happens in the first Let me just check. Yeah, it happens in the first 11 minutes of the thing. So unfortunately, we've got another 110 minutes to go.
This film peaks in high school.
Yeah, big time. So there's some plot elements that I think we should. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but I think there's some plot elements that I think we should recap just because they're so mad, and they take up so much oxygen from the thing as well. So there's a B plot. There's two B plots, or a B and a C plot that take up a lot of bandwidth in this that I think we should probably cover. And they probably had a bit more time in the mini series, I guess. But they've got too much time, I think, now in this when they made it into a TV movie. So the first one is Paul Hood's marriage. So he's married to Kim Catrall. They give her absolutely no character whatsoever, apart from that she doesn't quite understand what his job is, or why it's significant, or what his working hours would be like.
Yeah.
So her job is to be like the angry wife, which is a terrible role, and doesn't really use her talents whatsoever. No humor, no charisma whatsoever. She's just an angry woman, which is beneath her, I think. So that is given a lot of attention, and the way they do that is they are actively surveilling her whilst Paul's pretty much in the same room, and they're checking out her door. She's taking these visitors. There's one visitor in particular. Everyone leaps to the conclusion that it's an affair, but it turns out it's a divorce lawyer, which she's already like engaging the services of, just because she doesn't understand the nature of his job that he's literally just started. Like, it's like literally we moved to Washington and you're so distant, and it's like, it's my first day. It's like this.
Do you see what I mean when I say this is like if Tommy Wiseau wrote a techno thriller?
Oh yeah.
Nothing fucking makes sense at all. Like, Paul Hood's meant to be this like careerist beltway guy, this career civil servant, and all of a sudden she's like, oh well, you don't do anything. It's like, well, he does fucking something. Like, she actually refers to it as a make work job, and it's like, either Paul's telling her it's a make work job to like cover himself, which is silly, because he's punching above his weight already with Kim Catrall. He's clearly keeping her so incredibly in the dark that she thinks he's up until 0 dark dipshit hours every day making photocopies and sending faxes. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
But before that fight,
no one in this film makes sense. Yeah,
they go to like, well, she goes. He can't attend because he's busy working. She attends a function where she's photographed with the president. So like, she knows he has a real job.
Exactly, it's crazy. It's like she's like a normal fucking human would realize, like, they would make the connections between I'm in the social circle of the fucking president. My husband has a civil service job when I don't see much of him. He's obviously not, in charge of stationery ordering. I mean, if anything, the less your partner would tell you, the more you'd think, holy fucking shit, man, this is some real shit. This is like Black Ops, mate, if you know, you know.
Yeah. So she gets actively surveilled. They find out the information that she's like having these appointments with this guy. There's this weird bit of hand-wringing between like one of the op center guys and the psychiatrist Pam Bluestone, which we haven't talked about yet. So there's a well, you mentioned earlier on. There's a psychiatrist, Pam Bluestone, played by Lindsay Frost, who has definitely been in Frasier. And she's actively involved for reasons I don't understand, because surely her energy should be spent on trying to figure out or use some kind of profiling to figure out who the KGB is going to sell these nukes to. Anyway, weirdly, she seems to be actively trying to like steal Paul Hood for herself, which is just mental. Like, guys, this is like 1 week and you've just met him.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. She is an absolutely terrible person. I mean, she absolutely from again, they do the weirdest kind of written and directed by Tommy Wiseau kind of shit. Like when she goes out with them for drinks, and then they go back to our flat and they're sitting on the fucking living room floor, eating pizza, listening to jazz music through individual headphones. Or whatever. I don't know if it's jazz music or not. I think it might be
blues. It's all blues music.
It's all blues. Yeah, they're listening to it through fucking like separate headphones, and he's like, it's been a long time since I did this, and it's like, it gives you the idea that she's kind of like mind fucking him into falling in love with that, which is a gross violation of our medical training, and also again weird. It doesn't make sense. This is the kind of thing that Tommy Wiseau would put in if he was writing this. It's like, Lisa, I love this pizza party with the individual headphones. You are so funny, Lisa. Terrible.
So crazy. He's looking at the back of a record label and he's going, they don't do them like this anymore. Whatever happened to this guy? And she just casually just goes, like, in a really flat voice, died. Like, what the fuck? That's unhinged. Yeah, it's crazy. And the best bit about that whole sequence, actually, is that she's the one who gets profiled because they make a phone call looking for Paul and they ring her flat knowing that she's put the moves on him.
Yeah.
Like, so, Pam will be deep into him now. I guarantee you, ring Pam, you'll be there.
I think Pam's got the reputation of just like going through all the new starters. I mean, you've got to ask, what happened to the last director of the NCMC? They had to move him on to somewhere else because there was some Pam incidents. There's always the Pam incidents. And it's terrible because as well, it's like, she like, if you like, like she like knows how world leaders are thinking. It's like most of the public statements made by world leaders are written by speechwriters. You're not gonna be able to fucking like psychoanalyze a world leader by some speech written by some other dude, right? It's like, but that's just maybe, and probably not.
Maybe not in 1995.
Fair one.
Now people are governed by tweet. So
thank you for your attention to this matter.
Concerning. So
looking into it.
So that storyline gets way too much attention. There's like a couple of fights with Kim Catrall. There's mention several times of Paul's children who we never see. But
we had them on the phone once, don't we?
That's right. And we see them at the very end, actually, in the last scene. Yeah. But like the rest of the whole thing, they're talked about, they're not seen, they're not heard. But it's evident that they're probably being neglected. It's only a week.
Yeah. I feel like left in the care of the housekeeper who also isn't in the house all day.
Yeah, and Kim Catrall threatens to go back to Cleveland where they've come from.
Yeah, but specifically she says she's not taking the kids. I'll come back for my children. And it's like... Yeah, the film does a very good job of making her look incredibly unreasonable. I mean,
they've got her wearing a fur coat when she says that as well. It's not like...
Yeah, I mean, Sania, do you find any of these people in this film likable?
No. They all seem just unremarkable, really.
Yeah. The deeply weird people who seem to be governed by having one particular strange fucking quirk. Like Pam Bluestone's essentially a mind fucking sexual harasser with our office pals. The lawyer guy is Patrick Bateman. He's always a ball hair away from just like 1776, baby. And of course, what is the dude's name?
Well, there's one more guy. There's Wilford Brimley, who's the only likable guy in this, to my mind.
Yeah. So like nobody who works in the NCMC is likable. Bob Herbert, the National Intelligence Officer, he's just like, there's just that incredibly cliche. Oh, he's in a wheelchair, so he's miserable, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it's John Savage's character. Yeah.
Does every ops room, by the way, have to have a wheelchair guy? Is that a thing?
No way out. Hey!
Yeah.
And he was cool. He was cool as fuck. I liked him. I mean, he was cool as fuck. The guy in No Way Out, he was mint. And this guy's like, oh, look at me, I'm really pissed off because my wife died. It's like, fuck's sake. It's like, these people are crude ass fucking pencil sketches compared with if it was actually Tom Clancy characters that have like more depth to them and more like kind of intelligence put into creating them and stuff like that. I mean, like, obviously, Mike, you and I have now read a fair bit of Hunt for October. You find out a significant fucking amount about Marco Ramius, don't you?
It's incredible. Exceeds the movie, definitely.
Yeah. Like I mean, he's not raised by his grandfather. He's raised by some fisherman that he hangs around with while his dad's working. And I like how I like how it makes clear that his dad's called Alexander and the fisherman's called Sasha. So basically, they're both called Alexander, but the fisherman's the cool dad who lets you use his nickname. Yeah, and you get nothing with this. Like I said, I've read Op Center books. I'm fucking sure of it. I can't remember dick from them. So I know you've not got that Tommy C granularity of characters. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. The other big point I wanted to talk about, which was that gets way too much bandwidth, is the internal drama with the president being like the biggest insider threat to US security ever, because he's having that torrid affair with the journalists. Kate Michaels, played by Deidre Hall, and he literally leaves like top secret papers lying around in the hotel room while they're having their affair. And the whole affair is like becomes like probably about half of the main effort of the op center, who in the middle of this crisis deliberately misinformed the president in order to trace the leak from him directly to Mossad. And then which is mental. And then
fucking nuts.
and then the culmination of it is they tell Wilford Brimley what they've done and prove it to him, and he's like, okay, I'll deal with this. And he just storms into the Oval Office and just dresses the president down in front of his like close advisor, because the president's like, oh, he can stay. Anything you can say to me, you can say in front of whatever his name.
And it's like, no, mate.
And he's like, oh, all right then, I will then. Like, stop shagging Kate Michaels and leaving papers lying around and telling her where the nukes are, because I can't believe I have to say this to you. 1, you're married. 2, she's a reporter. Like, mental.
One life, one wife. I love it.
That's it, yeah. One life, one wife. That's what I always say.
Who brings classified documents to a sex date?
It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
In the first place.
Yeah.
Again,
like,
very 45th, 47th president.
Not once have I seen a naked woman. You know what would improve this? A big red stamp.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that was awesome sex. As aftercare, I'm going to show you some photos of the Natanz nuclear facility.
Come with me into my Mar-a-Lago toilet, where I have boxes upon boxes full of TS papers and McDonald's. Like,
it's like, hey, baby, that was so good, man. But you know what else is good? The Caterpillar Drive. Let's look at pictures of it.
Would you like to see my Satan?
Holy shit. Again, yes, the president makes stupid fucking decisions like everybody else in this thrice accursed film. Nobody makes a smart decision, really, apart from Wilford Brimley, who makes a very smart decision to thin the president out in front of his fucking henchmen.
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley should have been the president. Wilford Brimley's switched on.
I see that as a viable cover for him going forward as well.
Yeah,
like he seems pretty switched on. He's not going back into the Navy, is he? I mean, he's a vice admiral, but he's not getting board of ship again. So yeah, why not? Can I just give a shout out to Ken Howard, who plays? It's another movie where the president is just called the president. But give a shout out to Ken Howard. He's my pick for that guy of the movie. He doesn't really bring the juice in it, apart from when he's getting dressed down by Wilford Brimley, and you see he's a really tall guy, but you see him shrink into like a little child version of himself being dressed down. Like, yes, okay, yes, no, okay, and that's incredible.
Really do.
But I need to shout him out because he is the CEO of UNorth, Don Jeffries, in the movie Michael Clayton. So he's the guy at the end of that climactic scene where he asks George Clooney who he is. He goes like, "Is this man bothering you? Oh, I don't know. Am I bothering you?" And he's like, "Who are you?" And then George Clooney turns around and goes, "I'm Shiva, the god of death." Fucking amazing. And he's saying it to the president in Op Center. And that's really cool to me. He's also been in 30 Rock and Curb, and this was the one I didn't tell you about. He's also in Clear and Present Danger.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, he's on the senatorial. So you know when Harrison Ford, Jack Ryan is saying, "I give you my word, there are no soldiers in South America," and then it smash cuts to soldiers in South America. It's Don Jeffries. He's accidentally lying to. It's Ken Howard. It's the president. So yeah. So have to give him a shout out.
Yeah, he's just a terrible, shitty, bumbling president, and it's like
he's Clinton, right? He's meant to be Clinton, isn't he? He's thinking with his dick.
Yeah, I would say at least Clinton kept it relatively in-house. At least Clinton was fucking like an intern, wasn't he? I mean, was she an intern or was she like a press secretary or something? If this was written by a competent writer who wasn't channeling Tommy Wiseau, the leak would have come from lower down. It would have been the Secretary of Defense or somebody or somebody in the office of national intelligence or whatever.
Yeah.
So someone in the intelligence community would be the leak. It wouldn't be the fucking president because it's stupid as shit. It's
It'd
dumb
be
as
like
fuck.
it'd be like the assistant to like a deputy director or something. Somebody who wants to prove how cool they are to their date. Like by
Yeah.
going, oh, have you heard about this? Do. I can tell you about this because, like, oh, I'm on the inside track or something. Somebody with something to prove to somebody.
Yeah,
Not
Sorry?
the most powerful man on the planet.
Exactly. What were you saying, Sanya?
I mean, if it so the journalist is probably the more ethical version. But if it would have been an intern, the whole classified information thing would have been more believable. Because I can see Monica under Bill's desk going, that's nice. But I don't see someone going, you know what this sex date needs? Several hundred pages of classified information on anti-submarine warfare that I'm going to bring into the hotel room for some reason.
I can't believe you said you could see Monica under the desk saying, oh, that's nice.
I mean that depends on what your definition of the word is. But and how the fuck is this lawyer getting all this precise information to Mossad anyway? I mean, you don't see her taking photographs of things. You don't see anything. It's just like, she's like, oh, hey, President, really fucking good, man. Gotta go. Runs off straight to a payphone, rings the Israeli embassy. Okay, guys, take dictation, right? Take dictation. Yeah, shit's going down, man. Yeah, and then she just like rattles off. It's stupid. It's bollocks. It's bollocks.
What, a whole submarine? I've got to talk to some other Russians. Bye! Yeah.
It's bobbins, is what it is.
It is bobbins. And it annoys me because this takes up way too much oxygen from the movie, like to the point where by the time they finally get to the point where she gets thinned out, I do like how she gets thinned out, by the way. I like how she's trying to call the president and then the secretary says, you have to ring the press office from now on. And that's it. Yeah. It doesn't even break with it properly.
That's like one of the few bits of the film that's kind of believable and actually kind of cool. And I do like the fact that for some reason she's in a car with the Mossad guy at the time.
Yeah.
and it's like, they're like, what? Each other. It's like, for fuck's sake, it's
what? Yeah.
What? Say what? It's terrible.
That's not very chalant of you, Mr. President.
It's so fucking bad. The whole like Mossad connection is
regrettable.
Yeah. Like it's regrettable, but it's silly as fuck too. Because like obviously there's the whole thing when Mossad are trying to get them to draw out that terrorist out of cover so Mossad can ice him, right? And it's like, for a start, this terrorist drives around in a fucking limousine, right? He's hardly a grey man. Number two, the way they assassinate him is they get a guy into like the shop or the cafe or whatever it is, and he just sits there with a fucking trilby hat on and a fucking newspaper or something and a fucking Uzi in his pocket, and he just sits there and doesn't get fucking called out as being suspicious until just as the operation's happening. It's like, again, the FBI agents involved in this particular sting are all the people who would have failed the academy, but one of the classmates killed himself, and so they all got an automatic pass.
I love this.
Because
this is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, they have a fucking meeting outside the building, working out how they're going to surveil the building. You see that shit, right? You see that shit. It's ridiculous. It's like, for fuck's sake, none of the decisions made in this film make sense. I'm so sorry. None of the decisions in this film make fucking sense at all. I see the flaw.
Okay, thank you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so the arms dealer they're talking about is a guy called Abdul Fazawi, and he is going to be the guy. He's brokering the deal, isn't he, for the nuclear warheads, allegedly.
That's right.
So Mossad really want to get him because he used to be ex-Mossad, so presumably he knows where all the bodies are buried. I don't know where all the bodies are buried now. He knows where all the bodies are buried. But the way that Op Center gets switched on to who he is is ridiculous. So he enters the country. They know he's got like a whole bunch of different aliases, passports. So they track down which passport he's using and go, oh, this guy came into New York. And then as I was saying earlier on, like all the guys at the op center don't do any research. They just know stuff. And John Savage's character just happens to know, oh, if he's in New York, he's definitely gone to this one particular whorehouse, which has shit tons of Asian women, which he's into, and is also happens to be the haunt for all of the diplomats. That they also all go there as well. Like it's common knowledge. Like, oh, okay. So if it's common knowledge that diplomats and stuff use this particular brothel, like, why is the international arms dealer who's trying to stay undercover also going there as well?
Yeah,
That's
this guy has international arms dealer money. He's not going to a whorehouse. He's getting a high-class escort to come to wherever he is. You see what I mean? Nothing makes sense. Nothing tracks. If you think about it for just 5 fucking minutes.
He's not going to 4 floors.
4 floors. Yeah, it's like...
We've barely even touched on what's even going on with it. So I guess, right, Jesus, I'll have a quick look at Wikipedia and we'll rattle off what actually happens very quickly. Yeah. So, right, where were we? The warheads have been stolen. They're trying to smuggle them out of Ukraine by getting them out via a cargo vessel that's proceeding out to the Black Sea through the Bosphorus. They want to check that they can't do an opposed boarding of the vessel because they haven't got a legal imperative to do so. So they want to check that they think the warheads are on board. They do that by doing some kind of scientific experiment with some kind of neutron meter and
boobies.
And boobies,
yes. And they so they get a cabin cruiser with one of the team on board and a shit ton of scientific gear, and they do a little meter reading against the radioactive components inside of the warheads, and they do that by driving up real close to it and distracting the guys on deck by having 2 women in bikinis dancing on the hull. Amazing.
Absolutely, and it's like when you think about it, the world is essentially saved by just 4 big American boobs.
Yeah. And where do they come from, by the way? Like
the soldiers, you see them before they deploy. They're actually soldiers.
Right, that's it.
The mission, yeah.
Diversionary tactics.
Yeah. And it's like, it's fucking stupid.
I'm gonna go back. We're gonna touch on this again when I talk about the most egregious oversell of the military-industrial complex. But the so the next, that's not what it sounds like. But the next bit. So, oh my god. So once they figured out that that is the vessel that contains the warheads, they leave, and then they jack up this linebacker operation where they basically do an opposed boarding with some fast roping from 2 Seahawks with about 20 odd guys,
which they call Black Hawks in the film.
Yeah, but I don't think they are. And then they fast rope on and they do an opposed boarding. There's a bit of a gunfight. And there's also what they were going to scuttle the ship as well, weren't they? As a sort of backup thing, and they disarm that and they catch the bad guys, and that's how it all kind of washes out. And then finally, I suppose Mia Korf, who plays Liz Gorman, the media and congressional liaison, finally does something useful and does a bit of spin at the end to sell the idea that this was all just a drill. And that the warheads weren't really stolen. I don't want to do like a full blow by blow because I don't think this movie deserves it, man.
If you do a full blow by blow, it's just people would just log out, man, because if this film is like having a story told to you by a child, and it's stupid. Little things like the Ukrainian troops who board the little lighter, that little river barge, and they get a Geiger counter out for fucking some reason, and it starts rattling, and then there's a box that's got Chernobyl written on it, and the guy's like, sure, no. It's like, you can fucking read, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, man. And like, are nuclear warheads, like, would nuclear warheads kind of pop hot on a Geiger counter like that? No, they wouldn't, would they? They're shielded, right?
No, they wouldn't.
I mean, otherwise, like, all of like Russian strategic rocket forces would be glow in the dark fucking ghouls by this point, right? If the material in these weapons wasn't shielded, so that's dumb as shit. That whole sequence when everyone is speaking either Russian or Ukrainian, I do apologize. The audio is shit. I even tried to use Google Translate on my phone with audio to pick it out, but couldn't pick anything up. I get the feeling that they should have had subtitles on that, and I wonder if the actual miniseries or the original VHS movie cut of it, which was long on the TV movie, actually had subtitles. You get the gist. They
bully him into leaving. yeah. just bitches him out until he goes.
Yeah. And it's stupid as fuck. I had major nits to pick with the whole Nikolaev versus Mykolaiv thing.
Let's do it. Should we just do the nitpicks now?
Let's fucking nitpick. The Nikolaev versus Mykolaiv kind of thing. It's like, I mean, fair enough at the time. The city that's now called Mykolaiv by Ukrainian speakers, but to the Russians is known as Nikolaev, would maybe have been referred to still as Nikolaev at the time. I don't know, but when they talk about when they've got that map, which by the way doesn't even show the correct fucking topography of that river and that area in general, it's like, oh well, so here's a Nikolaev and here is Mykolaiv on the opposite side of the river. It's like the same fucking place, and it's only on one side of the river. This is terrible. It's like the ship is leaving Newcastle. It's crossing the river to the Toon. It's fucking really bad. It's stupid as shit. Can you fucking imagine a Ukrainian or Russian film saying this ship is leaving the harbour at New York and then moving to the harbour at the Big Apple? Gotham, baby. It's fucking silly. It's stupid as fuck. With like Tom Clancy stuff, there's inimicable amounts of research, and there's granularity, and there's accuracy, and there's so many things in this film that are just fucking stupid and wrong and terribly researched. The line when some interchangeable officer of the op center says the line, Kate Michaels is the second lady of the United States, which isn't fucking bars when you think about it, because the second lady of the United States is the vice president's wife. It's not the president's side piece.
I'll never Pam Bluestone fail.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, come on, Pam, unfuck yourself. I have major nits to pick with the armoring in this film and with the weapons handling and everything.
Good.
And I'm gonna bitch about it, lads. I'm putting on my little please be patient hat.
Hang on.
Oh my god. Let the record show the senator from Germany has now put on a straw boater.
Oh, we're doing the work heads? Okay, we're doing the work heads then.
Come.
Okay, good. Right. I'm truly bitching by you putting on your work hats and be having nothing. Right. So yeah.
Oh no, these are naval officer caps. That means we don't know anything about guns.
Well, yeah. So right. We're gonna kind of go just from the start to the end. The opening sequence with the gunfight, stupid as shit. You will notice, probably not, because you're not as tismed as me. Almost every long arm featured in this film, maybe every long arm in this film actually has a folding stock. It's a folding stock model. So linebacker use MP5 SDs, which are the integrally suppressed MP5 with a folding stock. The Russian guys, and presumably the Ukrainians who they're shooting, but you can't really tell because it's so fucking blurry, are all using AK platforms which have folding stocks. Not a single person unfolds the stock to fire at all. The only time you see, I think, a stock fully extended is a scene on the ship when one of the linebacker guys is carrying someone. And that's because he's got his weapon slung, and because the sling's kind of wrapped round the end of the stock. It would look silly if it was, it would be ungainly, and probably wouldn't work if it was, it wouldn't work well if it was like, snapped against the body of the weapon. That pisses us off big time. Folding stocks on weapons are meant to fold down for storage, right? Awesome, cool. Not a single fucking person puts the stock to the shoulder. It's all like fucking holding them up, like they're in those iconic photos from the Liberian Civil War. It's silly as shit. The Russian officer, Stolypin, I think, his pistol for a start. The scene when he puts the Americans in that little convenient cell he puts them into, you notice he takes the magazine out and then puts it back in again. And I think it's meant to show him reloading, right? There's only two options. It's meant to show him reloading, or it's meant to show him pulling it out and seeing how many bullets are in it and then putting it back in. The second one doesn't work like that. The first one's the most likely thing, is I don't think they had the budget to have more than one magazine for him. Fucking terrible. He has a suppressor on it, which doesn't matter a fucking thing, as soon as he fires the first shot, his mate turns up, going full auto, grip it and rip it, shooting people. They don't clear the backblast on the RPGs. And of course, like fucking Stolypin's fucking sideways pistol gangster style shooting. You picked that up, right? You saw that.
Yeah.
When he's got the pistol over the side and he's like shooting gangster style, it's like, fucking come on. The CQB in the ship is dog shit as well in terms of cinematic effect, in terms of how it's put together. I'm not an expert in CQB by any means, but like there's this really great scene when the leader of the linebacker team kind of turns around the corner and then wiggles the barrel of his gun through about 15 to 20 degrees of travel a few times and points it at a wall. Points at the fucking bulkhead, and I showed Emma. It's like, oh my god, this pointing at a fucking wall. He is. It's like something from Dark Place. The whole scene of him storming the ship's like something from Dark Place. It's ridiculous. I expect Garth Marenghi to be the one they're fucking hunting. It's like, we're going after Garth Marenghi. He's a writer, director, plus actor. And it's no wonder these guys are getting curb stomped by these like fucking Russian dudes, you know? I mean, like, the movement's shit. The move around the ship, like they're exploring a fucking like crumbling space hulk in a sci-fi horror movie, you know, like the men who have like trained with his ship's layout and stuff, but like gingerly moving around. It's garbage. It's shit. I don't know. When you compare it to films that came out in 1995, and I know budgets, apples to oranges, for instance, this Heat. Well, Heat, exactly. I mean, yeah, I was thinking as well, specifically for CQB, is it's a short scene, but the SWAT raid scene in 7.
Oh yeah.
And that looks really fucking cool. And the SWAT guys showed dynamism, it builds tension, they're believable. When you look at in other Tom Clancy properties, I'm like, so like this morning, to make myself miserable before work, I watched the scene from Clear and Present Danger, when it cuts between Jim Greer's funeral and the massacre of Ding Chavez's team at the hands of the cartel guys, I believe. And you see realistic gunfighting. There's even one cartel guy doing a C-clamp grip on his rifle, which I think might be the earliest fucking C-clamp I've seen in a Hollywood movie. How the fuck am I married? And that clip that I showed you just the other night, that clip from Miami Vice, from fucking years before this film came out, showing just insanely cool weapon handling. You know, Michael Mann. You see Michael Mann with Heat, with Miami Vice. Exactly.
Was it a Mombasa? No, Mozambique.
The Mozambique drill. Yeah, I mean that's an insanely fast fucking appendix draw. Mozambique drill. It's slick. As I say in Heat, slick. you don't need to invest a huge amount of money into making an action scene look cool. Just direct it with some fucking dynamism. I've seen footage of Indian police officers doing CQB with Lee Enfield rifles that was slicker than what the linebacker guys are doing. And that's not, oh my god, it's slicker and they're Indians. It's slicker and they're using fucking 120-year-old rifles. Yeah. You know? It's just a really badly put together set of action sequences which suck ass. I cede the floor.
Yeah, I think you're right that Louis Teague here is not operating at the same level as Michael Mann or David Fincher. That's pretty much all we need to say about that.
Absolutely.
But cool.
Absolutely.
Shall we take a quick break and then do some categories?
Unless does Sanya have any nits to pick with it?
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Man.
I have minor nits to pick with the way they run like the conference room in
I want to hear this.
Frank Center itself. It's like the first time they get all in there together to talk about this Ukraine thing.
Yeah.
And you just get this put it on screen. It's like you heard this in Star Trek and thought it sounds cool, and then you get this weird sequence where he goes, "Ukraine is in Eastern Europe." Like, who the fuck doesn't know that? And then you expect the goddamn screen to just show Ukraine, and instead you get to watch them fucking zoom in on a world map and scroll around a little as if I'd paired Google Maps on my phone to the goddamn beamer, and I'm just standing there like, where's Ukraine again? And it just keeps dragging like that. And Mike, you brought up that weird sequence where they try to figure out where the lorries are going.
Oh yes, yeah.
Essentially, it's like it's that fucked up version of drawing a datum on your anti-submarine warfare plot, where you try to figure out where the damn thing is going and what its weapons envelope's going to be in the next hour or so if it keeps its projected course. And they just put a bunch of concentric circles on a nondescript map of Ukraine. It's like they are taking that highway without having any idea where they're actually going.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrid.
It's staggeringly fucking stupid. It's staggeringly fucking stupid because they're not looking at any variables like, what if they change vehicle? What if they stop to get more fuel? What if they do a million other fucking things? It's really, really fucking bad. And yeah, you're right, the whole like zooming in, it's like no, now that it is the year 1995. The planet Russia and the planet Ukraine are enemies. Fucking terrible. What do you guys think about the naval operations aspect of the film? Because I think this is kind of in your wheelhouse because you're both sailor men. And what do you think of it in general? Because this is a film that has naval operations at its center, its op center. Yeah.
Feel like it though, does it? But you're right. My takeaway is one of the earlier causes of drama in the movie is they want to establish where the warheads are on this one particular merchant vessel, as we alluded to already. And the lawyer says, "Oh, we can't do a boarding because we're in Turkish waters." There, and I'm like, okay, that's accurate. That is accurate, but we know that it's going to leave Turkish waters, and you can keep an eye on it. And it's eventually going to have to go into the Mediterranean or into the high seas, certainly. And there are other reasons why you can do a boarding that aren't, I'm checking for your nuclear weapons. Although actually, by the IMO and the United Nations, arms trafficking is one of the reasons why you can do a boarding. So why don't they just do a fucking boarding? Sorry, pardon my French, but like, why they just do a boarding? That you know that you think there's going to be weapons on board the vessel. That's probable cause. You've got intelligence. Do it. We're doing a boarding. We're doing an opposed boarding because we believe you are harboring weapons. We can do it for charcoal, for God's sake. So, like,
that's crazy. I mean, and of course we all know that in 2003 there was the incident when the MV BBC China was boarded in international waters because it was suspected of having centrifuges on it bound for Libya. and it was diverted to Italy, and they did indeed find centrifuges on this that were provided by AQ Khan and his whole fucking proliferation network he was running. So yeah, it's and I bet there wasn't a fucking mass casualties, linebacker-esque operation involving a Seahawks door gunner just hosing down his ship.
Yeah, so in the movie, they have 2 CSGs in the Med at the same time. So you've got plenty of vessels there capable of delivering an opposed boarding. Like they'll have had destroyers there, which have had
autism moment, but at that time it would not have been a CSG. It would have probably still have been a carrier battle group.
Oh, sorry, yeah, carrier battle group. Cheers for that.
Cheers, kids. I am removing myself from the pod.
No, do not cede. Never cede the floor, Sanya.
So you've got two carrier battle groups in the Mediterranean. Yeah, brilliant. So you've got 2 bunches of ships operating in the Med who are more capable of delivering a post boarding for a perfectly legitimate legal reason, well within certainly the Americans' international rules of engagement, if not anybody else's. Like if you ratify any of those UN treaties, in fact the Americans do normally, but if you ratify
I was going to say they haven't ratified anything that stops them anyway.
They don't ratify the things that they want to do. They don't ratify things like stopping cluster munitions because they want to use them sometimes. That's just a thing they do. It's one of the quirky little things about US of A. That's just the US of A, North Korea, Iraq, China, all doing the same stuff. Yeah, but just one of those funny little guys. Yeah, so
I'm just a girl.
But the point is, there's plenty of people out there who could have done a normal boarding that wouldn't have been quite as a horrible, kinetic, absolute shit show that linebacker was.
And it really is a shit show as well. It's like, but even like the crew of the ship's reaction to it. I mean, these helicopters aren't fucking silent, right? The whole thing about fast roping people onto the ship is that they can then, proceed with speed and overcome the ship's crew. Instead, they fucking move through the ship like they're in a cutscene from like a bad sci-fi video game with like generic colonial marines exploring an alien cruiser, while helicopters hover above, hosing people down. And not all of the crews even got out of fucking bed. Because fucking Sullivan's just chilling in bed for some of it, just hanging out.
Yeah, there's a line about how they plan it to do it during the middle watch so that most of the crew will be in bed.
Yeah, fair.
So I get that, but no, it's not fair because what exactly as you describe, like once they're on board, they could do it in the middle of the day and just come and the helicopters come from the same direction the sun's at, because once they're on board, like the jig's up because the sound of the helo is enough to like alert people that it's happening. So once you're on, it's like shock and awe, smashing doors down, violence of action. Well, I mean, again, right, I've only got some very, very minor maritime CQB trading, like very, very little from like 10, 11 years ago. So like, I'm not an expert at this, but it stands to reason that once the jig's up, you need to be in there guns blazing. Like they're going there to stop the sale of 3 nuclear weapons. They've got like the highest level of approval to do it. So why are they creeping around for?
And I mean, they've got a code name related to American football, so it's everything to fucking play for. They've got the whole ball game. It's like a whole ball game at stake at this point. I mean, they're not like team basketballer. This is football, baby. This is as American as the Trail of Tears and exceptionalism.
I would certainly not trust a door gunner with a heavy machine gun to cover me from someone who's standing 2 meters in front of me at any rate.
Exactly. It's like...
It's like, no, check fire. Fuck off. Go away.
This, again, comes down to nobody makes decisions that make sense. Every character in this film has a mild concussion through the entire movie. Even the actors are stopping at like the welfare tent between shots, and there's a very skilled doctor giving them slight concussions with a little hammer just to make sure that they're really in character as people who make the silliest fucking decisions, the stupidest decisions. It's so bad. The the scuttling charge is tiny. It's tiny. It appears to be, forgive my nautical terminology, but it's like up around where like the fucking gunwales would be. It's not the scuttling charge. It's on the fucking top deck on like the.
It's significantly above the waterline.
The fucking det cord that they use to blow through the bulkhead. Sorry, no, to blow the hatch off, is probably more powerful than that tuppence halfpenny scuttling charge. Again, it's just silly things that don't make sense. And also, if they're gonna scuttle it, cool, awesome. Just pull the team off on the helicopter. You know, you've got nukes at the bottom of the ocean. You got a bunch of dead Russians probably, and let the record show that I'm shrugging quite a bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe he had to get the fucking scuttling charge at Home Depot or Home Bargains or whatever, not on the way to get there. It's like, I got no time. Ma, do you have £2? I need to head to the store and buy some explosives. Oh, look, it's on sale this week. Oh, we can due to budget constraints and our imperialist enemy and several decades of catastrophic economical mismanagement in the Soviet Union, we can only afford a very small scuttling charge. You imperialist pigs.
This is it. This ties into the reduction in force that happened in the Soviet Union. That was actually a really big scuttling charge at one point, but they just like shrunk it. They reduced it in force. Either that, or he realised, like Stolypin realised, he didn't have a scuttling charge, and he went back off into the streets of Turkey after buying several fake Rolexes, and because you would, wouldn't you? I mean, I've got a Turkish Rolex and it's boss, and he found like he went back to his Turkish Rolex seller, and he's like, "Hey, Mehmet, can you sort me out with a scuttling charge?" He's like, "I give you a good deal," and he just like gave him this tiny shit scuttling charge, and he's like, "If I don't pay for this, he's gonna send someone to beat me up." So he bought a shitty little scuttling charge. Oh, well, I mean, the scuttling charge would have killed Stolypin, and that's basically it. It's just suicide with extra fucking steps. A seed. So let's take a quick break, then let's go into the categories.
Okay, welcome back. Let's do some categories. So there's not a lot to go on with this movie because there's not a lot on IMDb. So casting and bad guys and what ifs and all that kind of stuff. I haven't really got very much. I've got Deidre Hall, who plays Kate Michaels, the reporter. Her IMDb page describes her as one of America's most beloved actresses, and she was in Days of Our Lives, which people in the UK primarily know for having Dr. Drake Ruari in it and Friends. But people may know her latterly being from playing herself in Hacks. That's pretty much it for her. And I've talked about Ken Howard already as the president. Yeah. It's kind of it, really. There's not really much more.
I saw an excellent cameo, actually. Yeah. So in the motorboating on the motorboating in Turkish water scenes. Quiet at the back. And an evergreen bulk cargo freighter is visible. I wonder if it was the Ever Given, the funniest cargo ship in the fucking world. I'm just going to Google and see when the Ever Given was launched, actually. The Ever Given was launched in 2018, so it was not the Ever Given. But yeah, so that's a great bit of stunt casting, I think, when there's an evergreen ship there. Again, the prophecies of Tom Clancy. It's all connected.
So some of our usual categories again are pretty weak here. So needle drops. There are no needle drops. There is no music in this that I find good or interesting at all. Yeah. the IMDb trivia is also pretty barren. The final rule for one guy, Tom Villard, who played a press aide in it. I don't even know who that guy is. That is the only bit of IMDb trivia. However, I think something we can all get behind is, what is the best quote in the movie? I think you guys know what my quote is. I'll save it for the end. But Rory, have you got anything good?
You know what? There's actually a few, but not for good reasons. The random outbursts that members of the team seem to make in lieu of actually doing anything productive or helpful are definitely up there. Target designation, touchstone. It's like, okay, okay, man, that's cool. That's awesome. That's that. Cool. Yeah, thanks, dude.
Don't need one because no one's writing a frag out, but okay. One of my favorites, in the same vein of what you're talking about, is when Liz Gorman, who has just been at the gym with Kate Michaels for some reason, finds out that she knows all about the nukes and stuff. She just storms back into the op center and goes, "Now get this!" And then one guy, I don't even know who he is, he's off camera, we don't see him, but all we hear is go, "Oh God, what now?"
You see, again, massive.
And he's the best.
Massive Tommy Wiseau energy. I feel like I'm sitting on an atomic bomb. You know?
Waiting for it to go off.
I feel like I'm sitting on a re-entry weapon from a Ukrainian nuclear missile, waiting for it to go off. That was shit. But no, it's like fucking. And also, the whole gym thing to me was weird because the rapidity from her having the conversation to being back in the op center. Were they in the op center's gym? Does this journalist have such riz that she's like, "Hey, do you want to let me work out in the NCMC's gym?" And they're like, "Well, guess so, booba," you know?
Like, where is the NCMC even based? You would presume the Pentagon, right?
I thought it was suggesting that it was. I was sort of suggesting it was based at Andrews Air Force Base, but that can't be right.
Oh no, well, because they mention on the phone. Oh, there's another bit, right? We're gonna touch on it in a bit anyway. We might as well do it now. Most egregious oversell of the military-industrial complex occurs, to my mind, when they are talking about getting this cabin cruiser and all its scientific equipment rigged up, ready to go in Turkey, in order to perform an operation that they have to do within like 12 hours. And off screen, you see in the middle of the conference room, so they're still having the meeting, they're doing their standard thing where they're all just yelling over, but towards a common purpose somehow. You see Brigadier General Apollo Creed turns his back for like, it can't be more than 30 seconds to pick up a phone and makes a phone call, but he doesn't say anything because obviously that would affect the sound mixing, whatever. But then he turns back around again after 30 seconds and goes, "There's a plane waiting at Andrews Airfield, ready to wheels up in 90 minutes with all the equipment on board." I'm like, what the fuck? Who did he call? What aircraft is ready to go? Or in the state of a 30-second conversation to square away an aircraft with the appropriate lift, with the cargo manifest already squared off and ready to go, or ready to be turned a blind eye to. They don't even know what this equipment's made up of, but they know it doesn't have any hazards or lithium batteries or anything like that in it. Just like that kind of stuff. But he solves it in like 30 seconds. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure it can be done. But like the fact that it happens in like 2 seconds flat before they've even decided what they're going to call the plan. Because after that he goes, "Mission designation, touchstone." It's just like, what the fuck?
I mean,
you don't need a mission. It's already done. It's already in play. You've started.
The Military Airlift Command, which I think is what it is called or was called, does have planes at relatively like readiness to deploy, but of course. But I don't think like it's an aircraft carrier when it's got planes at ready 5. You know what I mean? Like there's no one like.
Go got a C-17
Yeah,
at
yeah,
alert
yeah,
15,
yeah.
like ready to
Yeah,
fly
it's crazy.
anywhere
Like,
in the
it's
world.
not like there's like somebody sitting under the wing of this fucking C5 on a fucking like lounger with a fucking can of Pepsi in his hand, just waiting for someone to say, "Guys, we've got to get a boat and some U.S. Army soldiers who aren't scared of getting the boobs out to Turkey, like lickety fucking split, guys." That's crazy. Maybe. And yes, we're doing a callback. Maybe he rang Director Sherwood from NASA, and he was like, "Well, we can we can delay a civilian flight that leaves in 30 minutes, but at this point, we can't get a boat on a civilian flight. We could barely get Sean Connery onto that flight, man."
So that was the most egregious.
The most egregious oversell of the military-industrial complex is the fact that the logistics of this are so incredibly fast, done in seconds as well. The bit when it's like, the Turks won't allow us to do this thing. 5 minutes later, yeah, Turkey's cool for it.
Yes.
Turkey's fine. They're down to clown, man.
Yeah.
You know, I had, yeah.
It's literally a 2-minute gap.
Yeah, it's like, I had a really quick conversation with him. What, who? Oh, just some guy who answered the phone. And he said, "It's cool." Yeah, man, I said, "It's cool. Awesome." It's terrible. It's bad.
It's yeah. So the Ops Center are all freaking out because they obviously, as soon as they realize it's in Turkey, go, "There's no way Turkey's going to let us do that." And then they talk to Admiral Davis, Wilford Brimley, and he's like, "Sharon, whatever her name is, get me General whatever his name is on the phone." And he rings a general in the Turkish Armed Forces. And he gives them the dip clear to conduct a military operation in Turkish waters. It's like, okay. I mean, people in the military wish that was as simple as that, but it's not.
Let's face it, though. There's two admirals that could do this. Admiral Jim Greer could pull it off, and Admiral Wilford Brimley could pull it off. I imagine Wilford Brimley's character being like, "Hey, General, I'll support you with that coup that I know you're planning. If you just gave me the green light for this operation." He seems like the kind of guy who would have like a Rolodex of various officers like that he's met in his career who might be liable to throw a coup for him. I mean, to be honest, yeah, he should have been president. He wouldn't have let this shit happen if he was in charge.
Vice Admiral Davis has added you to list possible junta.
You have been kicked from list possible junta. You've been added to list definite junta secret.
So that was most egregious oversell the military industrial complex within best quote. My favorite quote, I've got to say, is because we've been talking around it the whole time, is Lloyd Coffey when he has his absolute crash out and is like, right and wrong, Mr. Political Appointee, holier-than-thou director, government is about power. United States is about power. Why? Because since 1776, we've been saying, don't tread on me, because if you do, then bang, you get a bloody nose and a one-way ticket to a war crimes trial. Am I wrong? And then my favorite bit about that is Apollo Creed then goes, "You're not wrong, but you're out of line." What's wrong? I'm saying that.
It's incredible. It's amazing. It's like something fucking snaps in him. Like something snaps in him, and it becomes Patrick Bateman.
It never recovers.
I mean, the issue is
just like...
what you don't see, what was cut from what, and I've got this on good authority. What was cut from the actual miniseries to make the TV movie is there's a scene when they all like compare business cards, and he's like, "Let's see Paul Hood's business card. God damn, it's so liberal. It's so Beltway and Steiner. That subtle white colouring. Oh my God."
I feel that East Coast elitism.
He's even more white bread than me.
Double embossed.
God, he's even more white bread than me. And then he just fucking snaps. This is his equivalent to the "feed me a stray cat" scene in American Psycho when the ATM tells Patrick Bateman to feed it a stray cat. But yeah, he goes full Patrick Bateman. It's amazing. It's nonsensical as well. It doesn't make sense because like at all, because very few countries that have been involved in wars against America have seen their people in war crimes trials. Japan and Germany, yes. After that, no. I mean, were there any war crimes trials after the Gulf War? Don't think so. Clearly nothing after Vietnam, you know. Nothing after North Korea. Sorry, look, nothing after the Korean War. So he doesn't even know of which he speaks. It's an incredibly coked out rant as well. He's like, I wonder if the big difference between him at the start of the film to him at the end is that he's just boofing the fuck out of cocaine.
So that's the quote. Question
Yes.
I have for Sanye. A new segment is, how would this shit have gone down in Germany?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Take yourself in that op center, Sanye, and tell me what you see.
Okay, so given that this is supposed to be a military operation, I think the ratio of people in uniform and just random civilians would stay roughly the same. I think you would see a vastly higher amount of nondescript, weird civil servants just running around trying to make this work. We would definitely need more advisors, like just random so-called experts doing things. But also, the main thing, the main way how this would go down in Germany, I think, is it wouldn't. There's upsetting to say, but given that the German military is bound by parliament before it can do anything, it's like the bureaucratic version of that Hunt for Red October thing. Russians don't take a dump without a plan. It's like the German military isn't allowed to take a dump without German parliament first having a vote on it.
Amazing.
So I don't think we could do black ops just off Turkey to steal nuclear warheads back.
I think unilateral.
We've had a few issues with that regarding like counter piracy ops. There have been ongoing hostage situations and such, and they've already immediately deteriorated and taken forever to solve because nobody could agree whose job it was to solve that crisis in the first place. So it got handed back and forth between essentially specialized forces of border police and the actual military. So I think the first thing that would happen in Germany is a giant discussion about whose job it would actually be to get the warheads back, rather than the actual thing of getting them back, and that would cost us roughly, I'd say, 2 months. And after that, when someone decides finally that it's the Navy's job to do it, then we need to get that through Parliament, which at the moment might be a lot easier than, let's say, 3 years ago. But even if that happens, then the Navy still needs to find a ship that fucking works. and a helicopter that actually works. Like, we've got so many problems. It's not even funny anymore, actually, to speak about it. It's just... It just wouldn't go down. I mean, it possibly would. We would... If we really had to, the military would find a way, but politics would make it its job to get in the way of that happening badly.
Very comprehensive and fascinating answer, Sonia. Thank you. Next, Rory O'Toole, would you like to maybe bring us some notes from the Peanuts Gallery?
These are sparse, sadly. Even Letterboxd is letting me down on this one. There's a lot of letdown disappointed dad sighs. This son, I am disappointed. So let me just pull them up. Okay. This one started making me laugh when I read it initially, so I kind of put it away because I wanted to get a real reaction to it. Op Center was a successful line of ghostwritten novels created by Tom Clancy and Steve Pachenick that actually continues to this day. It was so popular that NBC aired a 4-hour, all capitals, miniseries based on Op Center in 1995. Later, a 2-hour film version was edited and released on video, which is what I saw. As bad as it is, I can't imagine watching the 4-hour version. I wouldn't be able to make it. It's truly the worst Tom Clancy-related adaptation ever put forth. Don't look for any of the intrigue seen in The Hunt for Red October or Clear and Present Danger. Here, it's almost an out-and-out soap opera, as a major subplot involves Harry Hamlin, boring soap actor with big, plump, cock-sucking lips, trying to mend his failing marriage to Kim Catrall, as world events unfold around him with stolen nukes on the move. Hamlin puts surveillance on his wife and sees a man repeatedly visiting her. It finally turns out it was just her lawyer and nothing was really going on. Oh, okay. Op Center also stars Deirdre Hall, an actress who has the distinction of starring on Days of Our Lives for over 45 years. The calibre of the cast and the melodramatic tete-a-tetes between various quarrelling lovers, including the president in the throes of a duplicitous, scandalous affair, gives Op Center the unmistakable feminine touch of a soap opera, and it fully overpowers the main geopolitical plot, which isn't that interesting either. Is this what the books are like? This doesn't feel like Tom Clancy's style. There's no tension to be found in the Op Center. We cut back and forth from the Op Center in DC to Ukraine and other world locations where the action, poorly and cheaply shot, unfolds with no connection whatsoever to the main characters who are never, ever in any danger. Wilford Brimley appears for one day. Wilford Brimley appears for one day to film the scenes, all of which feature him sitting in the same chair in the same office. Rod Steiger appears as a Russian official, and his accent is a bizarre made-up of Russian and his fiery Latin accent from The Specialist. This is one op that should have been aborted. 90s TV movies are just so sexy. Holy shit, look at the nukes on her. Didn't expect anyone to uncover the nukes in the 1995 Tom Clancy's Op Center TV movie, and Mia Korf is cute. Yeah, okay, man. I think I could recover stolen nukes too if I had limitless resources, near magic levels of... Oh, this was a review from a guy called Mike Dunbar. I think I could recover stolen nukes too if I had limitless resources, near magic levels of agility and heavy lift capability, and also Wilford Brimley. The best bit was on the lawyer suggested detaining a member of the Free Press on spurious grounds. That was actually brilliant as well. It's like, hey, let's just arrest a journalist.
He's got no self-preservation at all, has he? like it's the legal advice.
I actually like the idea of a story like this set almost entirely within the war room, or whatever name you want to call it, that other reviews seem to use as a negative. But I don't know if the failing marriage plot is really necessary for a political thriller. It's not. It's not at all. And my favourite thing about the whole failing marriage plot is that it's a big thing how, like, oh my god, so Paul Hood doesn't... I've just seen Sanya's changed his background to a fucking operations centre. Let the record show that the senator from Germany now has a fucking op centre in his background. Good fucking god. So I really like how there's this whole big plot about how Paul Hood doesn't tell his stupid wife, scare quotes, because he obviously thinks she's a fucking idiot, right? But the film also paints her as an idiot because, like, you would know if you're hanging out with the president, you would know that maybe your husband's actually a big wheel, and he isn't just the guy who, you know, like gets coffee and makes photocopies. There's a whole plot about how he keeps things from her because it's all super secret and stuff, and then at the end of it, Admiral Wilford Brimley just fucking tells his wife everything. And she takes him back immediately because she's fully chastened by what I think would actually have been a really good scene. Can you imagine Wilford Brimley, Kim Catrall, and he's like, God damn it, that husband of yours, he isn't just a boy who gets the coffee. He's almost got as much power as I do. I put him there. You know, like, he does super secret shit. He just saved the goddamn world, missy. You're gonna run off. You're gonna run off to the Hamptons, and then you're gonna send for your children. That dog won't hunt, missy. I would get on my horse and chase you down if you got on that plane, even though I've got diabetes. 2 hours of recording before a diabetes joke.
I was just on the subject of Wilford Brimley. I need to interrupt with this bit of this Brimley fact. So I was looking for a picture for him to use as a post on our YouTube page, and I found a production still of him sitting at a desk holding a mug, and it was from a Facebook post by the photographer who's on set at the time, posting it like in response to Brimley's death. Rest in peace. It's like an obit, and he said, I was on set that day, and I was I asked Wilford Brimley if I could take his picture. He said yes, but only if I don't have to stand up. So he took a picture of him sitting down, and he said and he remained in that seat for the rest of the day until one of the moment where he got up and went to the other side of the room and had one conversation standing, and then came back.
See, right, this is the duality of man. Right, Wilford Brimley doing most of his scenes sitting down rules, right? We can inarguably say that's actually cool and good, right? Wilford Brimley, at this point, he comes in, he just shoots most of his scenes sitting down, or there's a few ones when he stands up for like 5 minutes, like thin the president out. Yet, you see these films now, and again, I'm going to mention Steven Seagal's money laundering era movies, when he's so fucking lazy, he has whole fight scenes when he's sitting down. It's terrible. And this is a man who uses his stunt doubles for walking scenes. Somehow this is incredibly cringe and bad, which it is. I agree, it's incredibly cringe and bad. Yet also, Wilford Brimley doing the exact same thing is cool and good. And I think it's just because Wilford Brimley's actually fucking cool. That's basically the notes from the peanut gallery on the film. I did briefly look into reviews of the Op Center book as well. The Op Center book. Now, I've seen multiple people say that this is based on the first Op Center book. Some of the reviews of the book scathing, written by someone who must have paid or blackmailed Clancy to put his name on the book. DNF. Horrible. Threw the whole set in the garbage after reading the first few chapters. Won't even put this into the free bins or second-hand stores in case someone else might think it worth wasting their time on. These series of books are crap. They use the name of Tom Clancy, but they are not worthy. Consign these to the 10p shelf at the charity shop now. If you buy anything with Op Center in the title, you're a woeful fool, and I will beat you with a stick when I next see you. You know what? I'm actually walking back what I said about Goodreads reviews not being funny, because I just filtered by 1 stars. Shelley says, read to page 12, stopped, never picked it up again. Scathing. Ratislav Fedor says, I still don't know why I even bother to read this book till end. Horrible, bad, boring. Jesus Christ. By the way, oh yes, John, who said these series of books are crap, they use the name of Tom Clancy, they're not worthy, etc., made another review of it as well. Still one of the worst books that Tom Clancy's ever had the misfortune to be associated with. I say one of the worst, as Net Force is definitely the worst of the worst. And you can put like kind of tags, I guess, on these reviews. And he's tagged this: modern fiction, mystery, crime and thriller, codswallop.
Codswallop. I'm not looking forward to Net Force.
Yeah, man. I saw a review that I now can't find that talks about how ridiculous some of the plot aspects and things in the book are, including F-117s with swing wings deploying from an aircraft carrier and anti-aircraft artillery with a range of 450 kilometers. It is a tale told by a fool, signifying nothing. These books come in for a hammering on the on Goodreads.
Shall we do ML Coa, MD Coa, and MH Coa? most likely course of action, most dangerous course of action, and most hilarious course of action of the movie. So, ML well, none of this is likely. But Kate Michaels releases a book describing her affair with the president after his term or terms are up. Paul Hood and his wife remain together, but also remain emotionally unavailable for their children, each of whom develop substance misuse issues into their late teens. Finally, Wilford Brimley somehow lives on and on and on like Henry Kissinger did, and eventually maybe steps into the White House. Most dangerous course of action. The death of the Mossad operative in New York sparks tension between Israel and the US, and to rebuild, the US utterly abandons a two-state solution. Similarly, psychiatrist Pam Bluestone gives up on men entirely after her failure with and buys 101 Dalmatians. And then most hilarious course of action.
Most hilarious course of action. Building up a significant amount of political capital from how he handles the whole thing. Admiral Troy Davis runs for president on an independent ticket, somehow garnering significant amount of support, probably because all of these random Turkish generals and other people that he knows find a way to dial in and manipulate the election results. In order to placate the Republican side of his power base, he takes on Lowell Coffey as the Attorney General. And America is even a bigger fucking clown show than it is today, because you have tension between this very wise and magnanimous president and a full-on turbo fucking psycho as the Attorney General. That would be hilarious to me. It wouldn't be hilarious to live through. I think there'd definitely be a palace coup within the first fucking 10 days of the administration. However, we're going to all laugh as we're burned. Can you imagine being like Lowell Coffey's speechwriter? Can you imagine being Lowell Coffey's speechwriter? Because he wouldn't want his speeches to be written. He would keep going off on tangents like I do. Like, he'd start, oh, so as your new Attorney General, I promise to, you're nothing to me, man. I'm going to erase you. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to turn you inside out and wear you like a shoe. I'm done.
Am I wrong?
I'm wrong.
Am I wrong?
Am I wrong? We've got to, we have his campaign slogan at this point, because of course eventually he like gets out from under the admiral's kind of robe, and he's like, okay, now I'm going to run for president. He of course runs on a hardcore Republican ticket. He's endorsed by Senator Holden Bloodfeast, 135 years old, wants to smell burning flesh one more time. Most hilarious course of action. I yield. I cede.
Would this movie be better if it had Jack Ryan, Dr. Richard Kimball, or President James Marshall, brackets, get off my plane, close brackets, in it?
Yes, basically.
Yes to all of the above. President James Marshall wouldn't have had an affair, and therefore 75% of the runtime wouldn't have had that subplot running through it. He would have got a Russian into the room sooner because of his track record of dealing with the former Soviet Union and his extremely pro-US interventionist stance.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan would have solved it sooner. And also Jack Ryan would have went abroad and would have got on board the ship as part of linebacker. He would have punched out the colonel himself.
Yeah. I mean, and the presence of Jack Ryan would mean this film was actually part of the Ryan-verse, because the Op Center films have the Op Center books have their own continuity that isn't part of the Jack Ryan continuity. So yeah, like there's no connection between the Ryan-verse and the Op Center verse. Like, there's no connection. There's no crossover. Because if there was, I mean, fucking Ding Chavez and John Clark would have led that raid on the ship, and everyone would have been pink mist before the echo faded, right? It would have been absolutely brutal. It would have been fan-fucking-tastic, you know? Admiral Greer would have... Well, I mean, I guess both these films have cool fucking admirals in them. Can you imagine Admiral Greer and Admiral Wilford Brimley double-teaming this whole operation? You wouldn't need anybody else in the film. It can all be
dear.
done from an office. They just make a series of phone calls and everything's fucking fixed. And like, we were never here.
I don't know if that's a better movie, but
Yeah.
I've got a new question for you. Would this movie have benefited from a weird little scruffy guy played by Peter Falk?
Of course it would. The question is, where do we deploy this Peter Falk scruffy character, and in what function? We could have certainly made like the law enforcement aspect of it, like with the FBI investigation into the arms dealer, funnier and better and less garbage if there was a little Peter Falk kind of guy who's like walking around like whorehouses like, hey, just one more question. I can't do a good Columbo impression, but he's like, just one more question. You ever see a guy with ex-Mossad ties come around here trying to core out some of your ladies, kind of thing? Like, just like because he's like so like fucking laconic as well. Like, he'd also be a great foil for all these high drive nutcases in the op center who just like seem to like shout buzzwords and catchphrases at each other. He'd feel like he'd been ported in from another reality. So I think we'll put a little kind of scruffy coat kind of Peter Falk guy in as perhaps a guy from the CIA, because the CIA don't feature in this film.
Indeed. I was going to bring that up. Yes, good point.
Peter Falk playing a scruffy, careworn CIA officer who's had a career of covert operations, and now he works from behind a desk, and he's full of wisdom, he's full of wit, and he's a calming influence. He would shout about 1776 in the office, you know?
He'd be like, my wife, she always, whenever she moves nuclear missile, she does it down for the Bosphorus. Have you considered looking there?
I would also really prefer like the scene of the two characters getting horny for the man who's going to come to fire them. I'd prefer that if they were getting horny for the Peter Falk guy. If like, God, there's something about him. Like, I know, it's fucking crazy, man.
Would this movie benefited from Lieutenant Commander Samuel L. Jackson, U.S. Navy? I say yes. Obviously.
Oh my god! But I have the perfect idea.
Yes, go Sanya.
Put him in the ops room when they put the map on the screen, and it just starts at this world map, and then he just comes in going like, "Motherfucker, do you know that Ukraine is in Eastern Europe?" And that's like the whole thing is this.
Or like, you know, when they're all making noise and Apollo Creed has to go like, at ease to get to shut them up. Like he would be like, I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Just like,
do I look like a bitch?
just Director Paul Hood looked like a bitch. So why are you trying to fuck him like a bitch, Lowell? Yes, you did, Lowell. Yes, you did.
Like, what ain't no country I ever heard of?
Is this movie, do you think, pro or anti the Central Intelligence Agency? I ask because I always ask, and I'm keeping score. But since Tom Clancy is the king of pro CIA content, but these guys don't out and out with the agency. I don't think they are with the agency. And I'm not sure if they're spies, military or civil service or anything. So, where are the spies? Where are the spies?
This film makes no reference to the CIA. There's no CIA officers brought in for opinions. There's no actions of CIA officers involved in locating the nukes or anything like that. It's almost as if it exists in a really fucking stupid timeline where the CIA doesn't exist. It's like maybe like the Ryan-verse kind of peeled off from the Op Center-verse and took the CIA with it. And that's why they've got this stupid crisis management unit that's meant to somehow manage all of the world's crises. Because there's a lot of crises going on right now, right? And MCMC's got to run all of them. Jesus Christ, no wonder Paul Hood's not got time to, go home and have sex with a woman who's out of his league. You know, it's like, this film is anti-CIA based on the fact that it proposes a world, which is a horrifying thought to me, in which our friend the CIA does not exist. So it's anti-CIA.
I agree. I think it's a good point well made. Time for the Ding Chavez Award for Missed Opportunity. One, no Ding Chavez is always the missed opportunity in any movie. But for me, it's not sending Lowell on any of the field work. So during the cabin cruiser bit, he says, so they get the video feed, and the first thing they see is the dancing ladies, and they're like, "Oh, what is this, basic cable?" And then he says, "How come I don't get any of these assignments?" I'm like, "You don't get any assignments. You're a legal aid. Like you don't do field work. You went to law school. Like what are you talking about?" But he should have been in the Seahawks at the end and did the opposed boarding, and then he should have at the very end of it served that KGB Colonel some papers for a war crimes trial. Right and wrong. Boom! You've been served. I don't know how that works. Like you ought to appear at The Hague, but but there you go.
You just know that if there was a scene in which he did kind of go out in the field and had to negotiate with the Turkish authorities, he'd get really amped up and probably refer to them as Ottomans to the faces, and
You Ottomans are the reason the US Navy exists in the first place. We have been putting up with your bullshit for 200 years. Am I wrong?
Am I wrong? Fucking hell. Yeah, he would be an absolute fucking menace. I mean, it's quite funny how basically, so he walked, so 20 years later, I'm sorry, he walked, so 30 years later, the plot of the TV series The Recruit could run because that, of course, follows a lawyer for the CIA who does end up doing field work.
Right, so final category before we play my game is command and signals, call signs in the movie. I've got a couple, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. My first one's for Paul Hood, who I think's call sign is Mr. Political Appointee holier than thou.
Oh my god.
I would like to nominate just Masters. I think we know for who.
I had him down as diabetes.
or alternatively, Lorax.
Holy shit.
Lorax.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very good. Lorax.
Listen, Mr. President, I've been the Lorax for 35 years. The trees can't be harmed if the Lorax is armed.
No, don't give a sneed what you think about it.
Got a cold peacemaker concealed under my beer gut. I will shoot you like a dog, sir. So I mean, it's great because obviously with presidents, they get a code name anyway from the Secret Service. His is obvious, either horn dog or just sucker, because the it's thrillers and the horny. The 70s through to current year, it's a sexual outlet for certain parts of the zeitgeist.
I think Brigadier General Mike Rogers. That's the first time I've said his actual name. Apollo Creed. His I've got two call signs for him. One is either Chubbs after his character in Happy Gilmore. Incredible role, or also Living in America. Living in America.
Oh, there goes the copyright strike.
We could just call him Parade Race.
Oh man,
just putting a bunch of people at ease.
Oh yeah, of course it is. I got Loud Coffee. I've got down as personally as legal aids.
I actually had a whole bunch of ones for Lowell Coffee and his don't tread on me shit. Gadsden, as in the Gadsden flag. Steppy, as in no step on snack. Minuteman, because he's ready to fight the revolution at a minute's notice, and definitely not the other thing. We're going to give. I mean, she's under surveillance, right? So we probably should give Paul Hood's wife a code name. We could also actually call Paul Hood's wife a fucking name, which I don't think we've said. Jane Hood.
It's Jane Hood.
I don't think we've given her a real name the whole film, because you notice how there's some films we do when we just refer to the characters by the actors' names.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what's Kim Catrall's call sign?
So it's not Pam Bluestone's call sign, which is man-eater. As in, whoa, here she comes.
God, yeah.
But Kim Catrall, I mean, what was she? So it's a shame. Actually, no, this is good. This is just like her role in this mannequin, because she has no character
No.
whatsoever.
I absolutely see what you did there.
Yeah, I mean, her first name already is Jane. Like they made it Jane Doe, basically. She's just
And there we go. Jane Doe, I dig it.
Yeah, Jane
Doe.
Doe.
Fucking amazing. Are we, of course, giving who else needs a call sign? The grossly, God bless him, he was unused and probably had more role in the version of the film that wasn't cut down. But what call sign are we giving to the leader of the linebacker team?
Oh, fuck me, the guy who's not Ding Shadders.
Yeah.
Not Ding Shadders.
Yeah, like,
what?
I mean, I guess instead of Ding, we can call him Bong or something like that. Bong. He's
Dong.
Yeah, he's
Bong Chavez.
Dong Chavez or Bong Chavez or Bing Chavez.
Bing Chavez. Yeah, he's like the multiverse version of. He's like when Miles Morales meets Peter Parker.
Dong Chafer.
He fucking deserved better. He really did. We haven't given anyone the call sign Touchstone. We probably should, since fucking Apollo Creed was just dishing it out to the target designation. I guess we could just stick Stolip in and call him Touchstone.
Yeah.
Or just audio track. We can give him the call sign audio, because you've noticed how there was re-recordings done for the film. And they're actually credited at the end of the film, the re-records, and the scenes when linebacker, and I nearly call them Rickenbacker, like the guitar there. Christ. The scenes where a linebacker apprehends Stolypin, there's been clearly all of the dialogue's been re-recorded, and it's totally out of sync, and it's terrible. I kept watching it again and again. It's so desynced. And this great scene as well when he realizes they're under attack. He gets his rifle. You hear the cocking sound effect. You see him pull the cocking handle back silently, then release it, and it's like so. His call sign to me is audio, because it's so bad around him.
Shall we play a game? Right. So I put a little bit of effort into this last night. A game. It's called, guys. Is it Saint Tom of Clancy? Or is it Heresy?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to keep scores here. But basically, what it is I've got the synopsis of a bunch of post Tom Clancy novels that were written by people who aren't Tom Clancy, and you have to, and I'll read them up for you, and then you've got to decide if what I've read is a real post Tom Clancy novel or some bullshit that I've made up.
Yes, let's go. Let's fucking go, lads. This is gonna rule.
So, which are real, which are heresy? So, I'll start with this first one. Right, here we go. And I need you to keep track of who's got the points, because I'm not going to do it. So, Jack Jr., Jack Ryan Jr., tracks down a Bosnian girl whose eyesight his mother saves 20 years ago. He finds a self-possessed beauty who runs a refugee agency that helps children of her native Bosnia, and has to rescue her after she's kidnapped in Sarajevo. Is it real, or is it bullshit?
I would say it's real.
Sanya?
Yeah, I'm gonna. The word bullshit is really tempting, but on the other hand,
You saying real? That one is real. That is Line of Sight by Mike Madden.
Fucking Line of Sight. I am sorry, it's called Line of Sight, and there's a girl in it who's.
Excuse me while I jump out of the window.
Everybody's buying it.
Okay.
That is so fucking bad. Okay.
Right.
Go.
Okay, here's the next one. A hacker called Weeb is offering to sell intelligence to Russian, Chinese, and Venezuelan criminals. He holds auctions after demonstrating his credibility by offering intel of CIA agent movements, causing several to be murdered while undercover. Meanwhile, Jack Jr. and his colleague, Basko Bradley, in Latvia, are tasked with investigating a US senator who withdrew support for a bill that would have increased US defense presence in the region with an airbase outside Riga, believing that she has links to the newly reunified communist Korea. When Basko Bradley is assassinated on his way to work by the Latvian mob, Jack Jr. hones in on Weeb and finds the cases are connected. Is it real, or is it bullshit?
I'm calling heresy on this one.
Anya?
Yeah, me too. I don't know. The term "weeb" is throwing me off. Also, this
Yeah.
reminds me of one of the Craig Bond films too much.
It is bullshit, but it's extremely similar to the plot of Enemy Contact. Like, all I did was change the name of the hacker and the country they're in,
Jesus.
pretty much.
Bullshit.
Oh god.
And Basco Bradley. I made Basco Bradley. Okay, next one. Right. Next one. Jack Ryan Sr. needs to discreetly rescue an old friend framed in Indonesia for a serious crime there. Oi, oi. To top things off, that old friend sends him a text warning of an upcoming attack in America. Ding Chavez is kidnapped. Is it real or is it bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
So, yeah? TikTok, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it real?
going with heresy as well.
You're both wrong. It's real. It's Code of Honor by
Fucking God,
Cameron.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Christ.
Is the entire Jack Ryan wider family just in the CIA?
That's nuts. Here we go. Next one. Right.
Yeah.
Let's keep this train going. Jack Jr. investigates the death of an old school friend and finds it linked to a cyber attack. The attack is the use of a fleet of quadcopter drones rigged with explosives flying towards the US stock exchange in the shape of a dragon, while the cyber attack is money theft from several major banking corporations using a program called Chicken Shit. Ding Chavez fights the Guardia Civil while working with Spanish intelligence to hunt down the cyber attacker. Is it real or is it bullshit?
It's probably fucking real.
Yeah, the fucking. Let me guess. It's called something with a red dragon.
Are you saying it's real then, as well?
Yes.
Yeah. It's bullshit. Yes. Okay.
Ow!
But not that much. It's pretty similar to Firing Point by Mike Madden, but it's not the same. But the Guardia Civil stuff, Spanish, that's all legit in the book. But it's not called Chicken Shit, and it's not about a drone attack on the US Stock Exchange. Okay. Next one. I've got a few more to go. Jack Sr. has a lot to deal with. A missing Chinese scientist, unexplained noises under the Arctic ice pack, and a possible mole in US intelligence. Is it real or is it bullshit?
That sounds kind of real.
It doesn't have enough crazy elements of the plot, like disparate mad odds the plot, to be an actual original Clancy work. Because there'd be a missing Chinese scientist, there'd be strange noises under the Antarctic, there'd be a Russian officer with experience of fighting in World War II wants to defect. There'd be a project to create a super fighter, and Ding Chavez would shoot some people in the balls. But it is simple enough, I think, to be one of the post the Ascension of St. Thomas of Clancy books. I'm going to say real.
You're both saying real? It is real. It's Shadow of the Dragon by Mark Campbell.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's
right, next one. A shadowy billionaire tries to remove Jack Sr. as a threat to his most ambitious plan, which involves deepfakes, by kidnapping Kathy Ryan. Ding Chavez leads the search to recover her in Texas.
Bullshit.
In Texas. Bullshit.
No, it's real. It's Chain of Command by Mark Cameron.
So Ding Chavez, by the way, by this point, is literally a grandfather, canonically. So this is now, well, fucking Ding Chavez is a badass, somebody all love the guy, and he always deserves better, and always deserves to be better deployed. He's a granddad at this point.
He's deputy director of an organization called Campus.
Yes. So I've read about the campus on the subreddit, and people fucking hate it. The general consensus among Clancy heads is that the campus fucking sucks ass.
Well, on that note, Jack Jr. is engaged to be married, but crisis looms as Jack Sr. discovers the bride is linked to the Greek mafia, who happen to be planning a second war in Cyprus. Ding Chavez and John Clark of Campus are tasked with apprehending her, but not before she can think of her connections in the US.
Fuck it, real. It sounds like we're like spinning the wheel of Clancy at this point. It sounds like they're just like, fuck it, real.
Yeah, so yeah.
I've got no fucking with real. I've got no fucking idea.
Bullshit! And that's all me. I didn't even rip anything off.
Amazing, to be honest. I will say the reason why I thought it kind of has the ring of truth is it sounds like a Clive Cussler plot. Sorry, like it's got that crazy kind of Mad Libs. Not that I'm dissing your work or anything, but it's got that weird Mad Libs. Let's spin the wheel for protagonists, for antagonists. We'll throw in a Clive Cussler self-insert, and we'll throw in a shipwreck and a mystery. And it's like, so the separatists from Belgium are trying to raise the Edmund Fitzgerald because it's got spin the wheel nuclear secrets built into spin the wheel. The boiler room, spin the wheel, and the other people searching for it are spin. A crack team of former KGB agents and spin. A voodoo practitioner from London. So what you did had the fucking ring of a Clive Cussler novel, and that tracks with late era post Ascension St. Thomas of Clancy codices.
Amazing. Got 2 more left if you're ready for them. You're by the way, you guys are neck and neck. So the only one winning here at the minute is me. Okay, so the second last one. Jack Jr. and a colleague are sent to Vietnam to investigate a rare earth mining company, but when their helicopter is shot down, Jack Jr. is plunged into a fight for his life.
Real. I'm saying real on that one.
Yeah.
This sounds too simplistic. I dislike it.
So what do you mean?
I'm going with a no.
What do you mean no? It's real or bullshit?
Just no in general.
What do you
It's not real.
It's not real.
Yep.
It is real. It's Shadow State by MP Woodward. Rory, you're finally going to pull out on the lead.
Who's the real Clancy head now, motherfucker?
Right, final one though.
Yeah, last one.
Right, final one though. This could be the tiebreak. Okay, Jack Sr. runs for re-election, but a Chinese spy has photographed him eating a bacon sandwich in an emasculating fashion, and is offering not to make it public in return for military intelligence. Meanwhile, Jack Jr. sees himself pitted against an enemy the likes of which he's never encountered before on his armor server.
On his armor server. Fucking hell. Obviously bullshit.
This obviously real.
That's your final answer.
Obvious bullshit.
It is obvious bullshit. Yeah, that was a little fun one to run out the game there. But thank you very much for playing St. Tom of Clancy or Heresy.
That was fucking amazing.
Amazing. I think that rounds us out. I think that brings us to the end of this episode of Clear and Present Dudes. We've covered 1995's Op Center in painstaking detail. We had some fun along the way. And our next week, we're going to be doing an episode that's going to be my pick. And I want you to imagine a world where John McClane never scaled the Nakatomi Plaza, he never got his wife Bonnie Bedelia back, and he never got his roses at work for being a good cop. Picture him in Pittsburgh, working on the river as a boat cop, bitter, angry, and lonely. Now imagine his dad is Marty Crane from Frasier. His partner is Carrie from Sex and the City, and his boss is Dennis Farina. It's 1993's Striking Distance, starring Bruce Willis, Tom Sizemore, Sarah Jessica Parker, Dennis Farina, and John Mahoney. It's written and directed by Rowdy Herrington of Roadhouse fame. I haven't even watched it yet, but I look forward to seeing you guys there. We have been the Clear and Present Dudes. I've been Mike. Goodbye. Rory.
I've been Rory. It's great to have you aboard the Clear and Present Dudes train wreck once again. You can find us, as I said, on all of the major podcast providers and also on YouTube. If you want to search for Clear and Present Dudes, you'll have to put speech marks around it, or we'll just pipe you through lots of clips of Clear and Present Danger. You can find me on Twitter, which I refuse to call X, on Rory O'Toole. That's Romeo Uniform Alpha Romeo India O'Toole. Peace out.
Yep. Hi, San here. Thanks for joining us this time again, and see you again next week. Another film that involves boats. We keep coming back to that. Wonder how that is. Thank you for joining in this week. Thank you for having us, and see you around.
See you all then.
Cool. And see you then. We've been... I'm trying to make a thing happen here.
Present
Clear and
Dudes.
Present Dudes.
Excellent.
Clear and Present Dudes.
Dudes together.
Dudes together. Wir sind Affenmodus. Wir sind Affenmodus.
Klare und präsente Typen.